Hello, Gorringes are on view this time for our sale on the 19th of August. Summer is marching on. It's Saturday morning. I'm in Muskevies in the warehouse showing you some of the furniture we've got on offer. It's a little bit quiet at this time of year, but there are still interesting things to be discovered as always. Plenty of garden furniture, funny enough. Lots of teak garden table and chair sets of varying sizes and qualities. Remarkably good value compared to the new cost price. There's a good pair of these sort of reclining wheeled lounges here. They need perhaps, the tip is to get the jet wash on them, give them a blast off, and then get the teak oil or similar. They come up really well.
Oh,
Even
you know
better,
that, do you?
Get your wife to do it. Excellent way to deal with it. Anyway, how about that rare thing, some antique furniture? This table's a little bit unusual because on first glance one might have thought it to be a sofa table. It's very much sofa table proportions. You expect to have the flaps at this end, but this one has clearly always had nice rounded corners, an old quality leather skiver, two drawers, mahogany, ebony stringing, a little bit wobbly. That's lot 33, but just a nice thing. Sitting next to it, not all that many years apart in date, is lot 32. Mahogany chest of drawers, just a little bit more interesting. We've got these nice canted corners. We've got inlaid banding and stringing running round it in ebony and boxwood or similar. And then we've got an unusual shallow drawer that opens up here. There's a brushing slide to brush your clothes on. That's the idea why they call it the brushing slide. And then push that in and we've got a pop-up mirror. There we are, which I think that slides. Yeah, there we go. God, I should do this. There we go. It slides forward like so. So you can do your toilette and then shove it back again, fold it down, and we're back to being a chest of drawers again. But quite a nice thing that. Let's be picky. Let's look at the handles. Possibly originals, alert the media. Little lion mask centres, but certainly I can't see that there's ever been any central handles, so if they're later they're fitting the same holes. Next to it, an unusual drum top table in that it's got an oval top. We usually see these with circular tops, so that's slightly different in form, lot 31. What else have we got in this sale? Lots of mirrors of varying sizes, from great big overmantles to smaller wall mirrors, sort of remarkable Rococo Baroque through to chinoiserie lacquer and the like. So yes, lots of mirrors to be considering. Last but not least, down the end here, showing a rather splendid pair of, not hugely old, but definitely decorative marquetry commodes, very much in the sort of Italian manner. The locks give away the age. They're 20th century, but they're nicely done. Very slight colour difference, but that's lot 80 for a pair of those. Good decorators pieces, even better decorators piece. Star of the show that I've seen so far, lot 81. This rather lovely, early-ish 19th century painted pine, I think we can safely say. Yeah, painted pine chest. Nice proportions, nice size, good shabby worn look to it. Sit back and watch that make lots of money. That is lot 81. So there we go, an array of furniture for you to consider. We'll go and look in the main sale room. Okay, so here we are in the sale room. This sale features toys, dolls, and teddy bears and such. A nice little group that James has put together, featuring things such as lot 321. Look at this sort of, I don't know if he's Bonzo or Pongo, but it's got a tail that wags, and a nice old label upon it, which says Chad Valley Hygienic Toys. Your eyes exploded on that, but that's what it says. I'm not making it up. 321. There's another hygienic toy. So nice little lot there. There are some dolls in the sale. I mean, there's some little people here. These smaller sort of German porcelain bisque limbed for almost doll's house dolls, a little mixed group. There's Disney toys showing here. So an array, as well as tin plate and some lead soldiers and that kind of thing. Let's talk about pictures. There's quite a few sort of Wapping Group related paintings in the sale, amongst others. Here's one. This is Gordon Hales, Upstream from Greenwich, the title. Sold at the 1995 Wapping Group exhibition for £200, and it's now lot 712. Very nice condition, ready to go. Sitting next to it in passing, an HS Merit unframed oil on canvas. Got a few holes knocked in it, do note. but a nice sort of honest thing. It doesn't say where it is. No clues on the back. That's lot 713. 714, a number of works by Maurice Shepherd, who you say, well, Maurice Shepherd, working in the sort of Haverford and Guildford areas as well. But I think he was based, at least he sold a lot through the gallery in Guildford. This is Landscape Fallen Tree, Northgate Mill Wood, 1974. A number of, about 3 or 4 other works by him in the same picture section, so have a look at those, they're quite interesting. Reversing backwards, something a little older, 709. There's the Brighton Chain Pier, in its original frame, sort of not quite an amateur artist, but a sort of decorative professional artist. And then, of course, the storm comes along, and there it is afterwards, which these were clearly very popular sort of themed pictures to buy back in the day, in the sort of late 1880s or thereabouts. Back to Wapping Group, though. Here's one for the keen-eyed collector. This is lot number... Well, it is a lot number.
It would be 324, I think.
No, it's going to be in the 700s because it's a picture. But anyway,
Okay.
It's in the sale. We'll be able to find it. This is by Dennis Sirrett. He's painting his fellow Wapping Group artists. And that's what makes this interesting, because let me prop that up there. There's that. But in here we have a little sketch showing, this is Sidney Foley here, Grenville Cottingham down the bottom, and Trevor Chamberlain to the left. So for collectors of Wapping Group paintings, and I know if you're watching, you know who you are, that is a very good picture to have, because you love Wapping Group pictures, and that's your Wapping Group artist nearly all together. Dennis didn't put himself in it, but anyway, an interesting picture. So painted at Weybridge, he says, on the back, all lots of nice artist inscriptions. Other pictures in the sale, there's some Ben Mayle works. We see quite a few of these. Very kind of 60s, 70s, scratchy oils, but there's always sort of passing interest in those. Look like 707, 706. No, they're both in 706. You get 2 together. In the smalls, there's not a bad lot of silver. I thought I'd pick out and talk to you about wine labels. So in the silver section, here's a lot, really for the collector, for the fan. Lot 880, so port. Very boring, not at all uncommon. Nice early one, fully marked, 1792 date, perfectly good starter label. Sherry, again, you've got a different shape. You've got a full set of hallmarks, perfectly reasonable starter label, but again, not very exciting. There's a gin that sits around the collar, and it's got a registration number. It's a bit later, it's Victorian, not marked, probably white metal, so sort of passing by. That's a nice scroll, but obviously we've lost the name plaque. Intriguingly, it's been sort of reworked, so that's rather shot it down. But let's get into the more interesting things. Madeira, slightly better name, but of course very popular back in the day, so not all that unusual. What's nice is how heavily cast this is, and this lovely deep work here of the vines and what have you. And we've got a set of marks, so look, it doesn't have a chain. Can always find a flaw, but there's a good solid one. Then let's get more interesting. Mountain. Don't get a lot of bottles of Mountain anymore, but back in the day, still reasonably popular. Got some marks. Have we got some marks? Yes, we've got a maker's mark at least, and the Lion Passant. So Mountain's quite nice, a bit more unusual. And then these are often more like sauce labels rather than wine or spirits labels. We've got Harvey. Good set of marks. And then cayenne, as in cayenne pepper, and you get all sorts of spellings, because in those days no one really cared about how you spell anything. You just sort of made it up as you go along. With a maker's mark, you've got, I'm trying to read it and show it to you, Carache, I think that is. That's unusual. Set of marks on it, and you've got lemon, which would have been lemon sauce. So those are really, to the collector, you've got some unusual ones there. Perhaps not the rarest of rarities, but you have got unusual ones. That's a nice lot 880. Then, because they're not hallmark silver, in the Wisdom, they've put the base metal labels in the main section of the sale. So lot 440, Here's an interesting lot if you decide you're not just going to collect silver ones, you're going to collect varieties of material. So Madeira, I said it wasn't that uncommon. And there's a nice leafy Madeira, not hallmarked because it's in almost a form of Sheffield plate to the feel of it. Another Madeira there. We've got a leafy sherry. And then, of course, other options. You could just have the letter, couldn't you? You could just have... What is that? Is that a... It's upside... Well, I'm somewhat unsure which way that's meant to hang, but it could be G for gin if it was upside down. I'm not quite sure. That's how interesting. One for research. There's a port punched out in letters, so an unusual form, still base metal. The collar variety, drop around the neck of the bottle. Hollands, obviously Hollands gin and rum, again in a sort of plate. But an more unusual form. And then let's get into the other materials. Porcelain, Italian vermouth, mother of pearl. Rather nice because you're getting a set of 4. Geneva, again another gin, Mountain, Madeira, sherry, there we go. Some enamel, there's cognac, whiskey, an early-ish enamel in Madeira. So an interesting lot for different varieties. And then I'm harping on about these, but bear with me. Lot 444. These have got some really unusual namings in. White currant, ginger. Did I see a black currant? There's a sauterne. These are all base metal. I'm sorry to say they're not the silver ones, but you have got some good names. You've got orange and shrub. So if you're white wine, be jealous. So if you're into sort of collecting the names and trying to get the ones you haven't got, and there's a book on these, I read it regularly, then now's your opportunity, lot 444. So there we go. Wine, stop yawning, please, photographer, camera lady. We finally, there is some jewellery in the sale, not huge amounts because we're selling on Tuesday. If you're watching this on Sunday or Monday, then Tuesday we've got a silver jewellery watches sale, which is fabulous. Already talked to you about that. Yeah. But in this sale, here's a few lots of jewellery to cast your eye over. 910, rather showy pair. They are pretty, aren't they? Mm. Ruby, diamond, pearl, nice pair of ear stud clips. There's an unusual bar brooch, almost like a peacock, isn't it? Yes. Peacock fan in sapphire and diamond. A rather pretty diamond drop pendant, showing there, lot 930. There's a reasonably modest, but the stones, the diamonds catch one's eye. Lot 929, saffron diamond ring, and last but not least 921. There's one of these sort of grand tour classical lava brooch bracelets. So there we go. As ever, all sorts of interesting things for you to come along and see and bid on and buy and take home and enjoy. So we look forward to seeing you at the sale. Thank you for watching.